Are there plans to bury more power lines underground, and how much of a priority should this be? And we'll start with Mr. Mulligan.
I don't know if there are any plans to bury some of the existing overhead lines, but I do know this. I mean, it's a standard today for new construction for cables and power lines to be buried. And living in a neighborhood where that is the case, it's a great advantage, and I would applaud any effort that the power district has, any plans that they have, any expenditures, any funds that they would have to expand that program. It creates for a safer condition, much more reliable source of energy during storms and weather conditions where power lines are affected. So I mean, it's a real plus for the community. Is it a huge expense? Yes, it is, but you know, it's one of those situations where you have to do a cost-benefit analysis.
Thank you. Paul Anderson?
I'm not that familiar with what the OPPD plan is as far as burying the power lines. At the personal experience, shortly after my wife and I moved into our current home is when we experienced the snowstorm, which a lot of residents lost power for roughly 9 days. And we consequently made the expensive decision to have our power buried from the service pole. I do feel it makes more sense that if the power lines are buried instead of having them on the poles.
Thank you. Colin Kavanaugh.
I agree too. I think, and my knowledge is not real great here either. I have to say that, but I think continuing to probably bury the lines is probably a good idea. I think, in a general rule, it's a bit safer than the way that we used to do it. I think there has to be certainly heed and concern about following all the various safety regulations concerning that, and you know, that's getting the word out to your supervisors and people in the field to basically, you know, follow safety and precaution in your daily job.
Thank you. And Craig Moody?
Yeah, you know, the above ground power lines, indeed, it's extraordinarily expensive to bury those things, and I can't honestly foresee OPPD making that investment anytime in the near term. That doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve to be looked at, of course, but you know, for the most part, I live in a home that has an abundance of power lines all the way around it, and one of the things that goes along with that is the tree trimming program that OPPD has as well, in order that the trees are cut back pretty extensively from the power lines so that reliability is maintained. So you know, it's a really complicated issue. It's a really costly thing for them to do, and again, I think it begs to be looked at, but I can't say, I don't think we should be making any promises about that happening anytime soon. They've got some more important things to do, quite honestly.
Thank you. And Don Krupa.
Well, I think, like say, any time you can bury the power lines is fine. But the thing about it, we got to look at cost-wise. And that's why we have committee meetings, like at MUD. We had committee meetings. They discuss the cost-wise. You got to do that. You got to work together. You just can't say, well, let's bury them. They got to go to our contractors. They come out. They analyze it, they put the bids out to the directors say, oh, okay, that's a good job to do. And like myself, we pay these managers big time money, you know, over $400,000 for, I won't name the one, but let's leave it up to them, the committee meetings, and when we got with MUD, we worked together. I keep on bringing up MUD, but we had committee meetings all the time. We met, we went over cost, and you have to do that so it keeps the rates down for the ratepayers.
Thank you.